This is 7 National News. In our top story, the Federal National Council has condemned the terrorist blast that targeted the Russian St. Petersburg metro on Monday, which claimed the lives of dozens of innocent victims. According to a report released by Emirates news agency WAM during a phone call with the Speaker of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Dr. Amal Abdullah Al-Qubaisi, the FNC's Speaker, condemned the terrorist crime, deeming it completely against all moral and human values. Dr. Al-Qubaisi also offered her heartfelt condolences to the government, the people of the Russian Federation and the families of the victims, and reiterated the UAE's unwavering stance towards renouncing violence and terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The Emirates Red Crescent on Monday announced that it has provided medical equipment for a health centre in a village in the Hadramaut Valley in Yemen. The gesture is in line with the authorities' continued efforts to support the health sector in Yemen and help those in need of these facilities. The medical aid provided includes a complete blood test, sophisticated sonar devices and a number of medical oxygen cylinders to provide a better level of medical service for many villages and Bedouin communities. Khalifa Al-Niyadi, deputy head of ERC in Hadramaut, said that the western areas in the Tarim Directorate are in severe need of such assistance. Healthcare professionals have stated that the cost of medical care in the country will not rise this year to cover providers' added costs when value-added tax is imposed in January. Healthcare is exempt from VAT, but many people are worried that providers will raise their charges this year to recover VAT on utilities such as phones or electricities. Meanwhile, medical centres and hospitals are urging families not to be concerned as the Health Authority, Abu Dhabi and Dubai's Health Authority monitor all pricing. According to local reports, in most countries, medical services along with life-saving drugs are exempt from goods and services taxes. As VAT cannot be passed on to the patient, hospitals are waiting to see the fine print of the tax law. Providers are also waiting for details on taxes for pharmaceutical products and medicines, including antibiotics. A massive dome with a trellis framework is being designed as the structure that will dominate the Expo 2020 site in Dubai South. The design plans for Al Wasl Plaza were unveiled on Monday and showed a dome that would double up as a 360-degree screen at night, projecting images to thousands of visitors, both inside and outside. Built of light, translucent material, the dome, 65 metres tall with a diameter of 150 metres, will hold an estimated 10,000 visitors. A public tender would be released soon for Al Wasl Plaza, for which building will be completed by the end of 2019. Infrastructure work on the Expo 2020 site will be completed by July 2018 and heavy construction will be finished by October 2019. Described as the last major design element at the centre of the 4.38 square kilometre site, it will be developed alongside other locations such as the themed pavilions. About 9.4 million cubic metres of water were collected in UAE reservoirs in less than a week during heavy rainfall last month. According to the Minister of Energy, this was the quantity of water collected in 18 dams in the northern and central regions between March 23 and March 27. The largest amount, 8 million cubic metres, was collected in Ras Al Khaimah. According to Emirates news agency WAM, the amount of water collected during this period was relatively good compared to the same period last year. Last year, UAE dams collected about 30 million cubic metres of water because of a historic amount of rainfall that officials are describing as a unique climate phenomenon. And the IPIC arena in Abu Dhabi is all set to host its biggest ever jiu-jitsu competition as some of the best fighters have arrived in the capital for the 7th edition of the World Jiu-Jitsu Championship. At a press conference, the organising committee of the Abu Dhabi World Jiu-Jitsu Championship announced that over 7,000 athletes will be taking part in this year's competition, representing over 100 countries. The action kicks off from the 10th to the 23rd of April, with many local and international fighters battling it out in the IPIC arena for the 3 million dirham prize fund, which is also this season's final event. According to the organisers, over 31,000 people had attended the fights last year, and this year they're expecting around 50,000 to turn up, as 2017 hosts more events to attract the community. Commenting on the program, the CEO stated that fans can also look forward to the Legends Tournament, which will feature former world champions as well as a number of former UFC stars, which should add excitement to this year's event in Abu Dhabi.
Around 50,000, this is our expectation, because days of the competition will be 14 days. The initiatives and events will be more exciting. The quality of the player level will be very high. I mean, the competition will be very strong. We have like more than players from more than 100 countries, which is show that the competition will be very aggressive. Everyone knows that we have a good program, school program. That's the number of the students in this program. It's around 70,000. We have also nice program with other academy and school. We have after school classes, which is or centers, which is provide us the most high-level players and the most important player. Also, we have good program that already we have too many initiatives through the year, motivate the families to be part from this sport. We're talking about health, we're talking about the too many awareness for the society through this competition.
Sitting on top of the UAE Jiu-Jitsu Federation rankings is Jose Jr., who enters the competition with 1,750 points thanks to his 9 gold, 4 silver and 4 bronze medals this season. With a total of 400 points up for grabs in this season finale, the Brazilian is confident of winning the super heavyweight division this year. Furthermore, Thiago Bravo, also from Brazil, is another fighter to look out for, as he is determined to clinch the featherweight title in the capital.
I'm really optimistic. I think the tournament will be great. Again, one more year, the biggest one we ever saw. And it's a lot of good players coming. The top players in the world will be here. And I have big expectations. I believe it's going to be a nice event. And I'm prepared for that. I did an amazing preparation, didn't have any injury. And I hope it's going to be the best tournament I fight in my life. As I'm working in the project related to that, and then every day we have to speak with kids, and then we meet parents, and we meet, and nothing better than proof than that it's one of my missions, let's say, to show them if you work hard, and you can do it, you can get there, you can achieve your dreams, you can do everything you want. You just have to work hard.
I've been training really hard every day. Every time I can train, I train, because this championship is the biggest competition in the world. So I really want to be the champion. I already have the 2nd place here, and then I really want to make it this champion, you know, for me, for my family, for my training partners, because it's going to be very important for me. Actually, we do not prepare for just one person, because we have a lot of guys. Actually, I have 20 on the division. So you cannot make a preparation exactly for one guy. You have to prepare for all then. So it doesn't change anything, but it just make you train even more harder, because if you want to be the champion, you have to be ready for the all then. So there is no shortcut. You cannot focus on one guy. You have to be ready for them all.
And finally, in the bulletin, Qatar's Nasser Attiyah found himself alongside Austrian KTM rider Matthias Walkner at the top of the leaderboard of the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge after the second 289-kilometre stage of the event, which took the competitors through Rub Al Khali on Monday. The Toyota driver claimed the fastest time on the day's stage, which was held in the punishing heat across the dunes of the UAE. Attiyah's stage win meant he extended his lead over Abu Dhabi Racing's Sheikh Khalid Al Qasimi to 23 minutes and 3 seconds, heading into the night halt at Qasr Al Sarab. On the bike, Sam Sunderland's starting position meant that the overnight leader was hardly going to win the day's stage, and the Dakar champion ceded time to his rivals in the motorcycle category. Meanwhile, Husqvarna's Pierre-Alexandre Rene began the day 5th on the road and pressed on to take the stage win from Paulo Gonçalves. Sunderland and Attiyah led their respective motorcycle and car rivals into the second stage that featured considerable sections through the notorious dunes of the Rub Al Khali. Attiyah extended his advantage over Al Qasimi just by under 3 minutes through PC1 and to a little under 6 at PC2, as the leading group of riders began the final crossing of the dunes after a third checkpoint at Arada. Today sees the competitors tackle the second of 3 loop stages around the southernmost extremities of the UAE.
It's a really long day, also difficult day. 100% horse piece, so it's quite difficult riding today. I did really well until refueling. I catch all of the guys starting in front of me. But 70 km from here, I riding with them. We're riding really relaxed, too much I think, and I hit a dune and I stayed there. Matthias helped me a few seconds and after I let him go, and when I'm okay to restart because I can't breathe, I restart and I try to do the best until the end, and I think I do it well.
As yesterday, the heat was really high. And today we knew from the beginning this is a stage for losing time because we start in front, so I take it easy and try to don't risk nothing because anyway the guys from behind, they will catch me, so it's got hard because it was really hot, but I enjoyed it.
It was a very tough day. We had the big problems on the very soft sand. We had to do a lot of loops. We were struggling, but we tried to carry a balanced momentum, so we tried to avoid the bad places.
It's all to do with the weather change. We have that window that we can only use in the events, and the 3 events in the Gulf. It is a real challenge. It's a real challenge to the car, the machine, the driver, the co-drivers, the organizers, and even to the media. So I can see the result.